Have you ever wondered if everything you store in your refrigerator is safe for you? From improper food storage that accelerates spoilage to dietary habits that could increase your risk of gastric cancer. Many common practices might be harming your health without you even realizing it. In this video, we'll uncover the hidden dangers lurking in your kitchen and reveal essential tips to protect your well-being. Stay tuned until the end to discover life-changing strategies that can help you maintain a healthier lifestyle and prevent serious health issues. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me. And if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Starch staple. Many people, myself included, have grown up believing that storing certain foods in the refrigerator will keep them fresh for longer, especially staple foods like bread, peanuts, rice, and other grains. It seems like the logical thing to do, right? After all, the fridge is designed to preserve food, to protect it from spoilage. But what so many of us don't realize is that this seemingly harmless habit could be having the opposite effect, speeding up the process of drying out and spoiling these essential foods. Bread, for example, which many of us love to store in the fridge to keep fresh, tends to lose its softness and flavor much faster in the cold. The same goes for rice and peanuts, which can become stale, and even worse, potentially harmful if kept in such conditions for too long. What's truly alarming, though, is the hidden danger that comes with long-term storage in the fridge. Many people may not be aware of the silent threat lurking in improperly stored grains and nuts. Over time, these foods can develop aflatoxin, a toxic substance that's not only harmful but highly carcinogenic. Aflatoxin, produced by certain molds that thrive in improperly stored food, has been linked to a host of serious health issues, including liver damage and cancer. It's truly terrifying to think that something as simple as where we choose to store our daily staples could expose us to such a scourgeous, invisible threat. I find it heartbreaking to consider that the very foods we rely on to nourish ourselves and our families could be putting our health at risk. As someone who cares deeply about what I eat and how I can protect my well-being, this realization feels like a wake-up call. It's easy to overlook small details like where we store our food, but these seemingly insignificant choices can have profound effects on our health. I can't help but feel a deep sense of responsibility to not only take better care of myself, but also to share this knowledge with others, because who would want to unknowingly put their loved ones in harm's way? Storing foods like bread, peanuts, and rice at room temperature in airtight containers away from moisture and extreme temperature, but it's so worth it. In my view, this is not just about food safety, it's about preserving the health and happiness of the people we care about. Why take the risk of exposing ourselves to toxic substances when we can take simple, preventive steps to keep our food safe? I believe that by being more mindful of how we handle and store the foods we consume every day, we can greatly reduce the risk of aflatoxin exposure and other health hazards. It's a small change, but one that can have a huge impact. Let's not take these things for granted. In the end, it's our health and the health of those we love that's at stake. And that's something none of us should ever gamble with. By taking action now, we're ensuring a safer, healthier future for ourselves and the ones we hold dear. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. 2. Chopsticks and cutting boards. Chopsticks and cutting boards are essential tools in any kitchen, and in many households, they are often made of wood. Wooden utensils have a natural charm and are widely used because they feel organic and durable. However, in regions like Guangdong, where the climate is hot and humid, improper storage of these wooden tools can lead to unexpected issues, like the growth of mold. While mold doesn't necessarily thrive on wood itself, and generating aflatoxin epoxin from wood is quite difficult, the real danger lies in the remnants of food, especially starches like rice, corn, or other grains sticking to the chopsticks and cutting boards. These food particles, if not cleaned properly and allowed to sit for extended periods, can provide an ideal environment for mold to flourish, significantly increasing the risk of aflatoxin production. I find it troubling to think that something as simple as not washing utensils properly can lead to such a serious health hazard. Mold can be sneaky, growing in places we don't always expect or notice, and aflatoxin, which is known to be carcinogenic, can be silently developing without us even realizing it. This underscores the importance of thorough cleaning and proper storage of kitchen tools. The idea that even the most mundane, everyday items like chopsticks and cutting boards could potentially expose us to toxins makes me reflect on how easily we can overlook these risks in our daily lives. One of the best ways to protect ourselves is by being proactive in kitchen hygiene. First and foremost, we should avoid leaving food remnants, no matter how small, on our utensils. Even a few grains of rice left stuck to chopsticks or a smudge of cornmeal on a cutting board can turn into a mold breeding ground if left unattended. In my opinion, it's worth taking the time to wash everything thoroughly after each use, ensuring that no food particles remain. It's also crucial to recognize that when food starts to show signs of mold, it's better to discard it rather than risk our health. I know that in many cultures, there's a strong emphasis on not wasting food. But when it comes to mold, the risks far outweigh the benefits of trying to salvage something. Mold can produce toxins that are harmful even in small amounts, so if any food looks suspicious, it's better to err on the side of caution and throw it away. If by chance we do accidentally consume something that might be contaminated with aflatoxin, such as moldy bits of food or nuts, it's important to take immediate action. Spitting out the food and thoroughly rinsing the mouth can help minimize exposure. This is a small but potentially life-saving step to take in case of accidental ingestion. Moreover, it's advisable not to store too many dried fruits or grains at home unless you can ensure they are kept in a dry and well-ventilated environment. Humidity is the enemy when it comes to preventing mold growth, and proper storage can make all the difference in avoiding this hazard. Another important practice is to replace kitchen utensils like chopsticks and cutting boards regularly. No matter how sturdy or well-maintained they may seem over time, wear and tear can create tiny grooves and cracks where food particles can hide, making them harder to clean thoroughly. I believe that investing in new utensils every so often is a small price to pay for peace of mind and health. 3. Green leafy vegetables. Green leafy vegetables are a staple in many diets around the world, praised for their vibrant color, rich nutrients, and fresh taste. However, when it comes to storing these delicate vegetables, many people might unknowingly be putting their health at risk. It's a common practice to keep greens in the refrigerator, thinking that the cold will help them stay fresher for longer. Unfortunately, this is a misconception that can lead to unexpected consequences. When refrigerated, green leafy vegetables not only lose their crispness and taste, but also become highly susceptible to mold growth and accelerated decay. What's even more concerning is that during this process, harmful substances such as nitrites can develop, posing a serious health risk. Personally, as someone who loves fresh vegetables, it's disheartening to think that storing greens in the fridge, which seems like a good idea, could lead to the very opposite of what we're trying to achieve. Instead of preserving the freshness and nutrients we need for a healthy diet, we could be inadvertently speeding up the decay process. Bacteria and enzymes break down the plant tissues, and this degradation can lead to the formation of nitrites. When nitrates combine with amines, which are present in food in our bodies, they form nitrosamines, a group of compounds that are recognized as one of the world's 3 most potent carcinogens. This knowledge is not only shocking but also quite terrifying. The idea that something as innocent as storing leafy greens improperly could expose us to nitrosamines, a dangerous carcinogen, makes me reevaluate how I handle these foods. It's easy to overlook these risks, but when we understand the potential harm, it's clear that proper storage and handling are crucial for maintaining both taste and safety. In my view, we need to rethink how we store green leafy vegetables. Instead of automatically placing them in the refrigerator, it's worth considering other options, such as storing them in a cool, dry place with proper air circulation. If refrigeration is necessary, keeping the vegetables in breathable containers or wrapping them in paper towels to absorb moisture can help reduce the risk of mold growth and decay. This small step can make a big difference in preventing the formation of harmful substances like nitrites. Furthermore, it's important to consume green leafy vegetables while they're still fresh. The longer they sit, especially in a cold environment, the greater the risk of decay and the formation of toxic compounds. For anyone who values the freshness and health benefits of these vegetables as much as I do, it's worth taking a little extra care to ensure they're consumed at their peak quality. There's nothing worse than biting into a wilted, tasteless leaf, only to realize that it may also contain toxins that could compromise our health. What drives this point home for me is the fact that nitrosamines are such powerful carcinogens, and yet they can form so easily in the foods we eat if we're not careful. It's a stark reminder that the way we store and handle our food matters. We might not be able to see these harmful substances with the naked eye, but they're there, lurking beneath the surface, waiting to take a toll on our health. And that's a scary thought. 4. Tropical fruits. Tropical fruits such as bananas, lychees, and mangoes hold a special place in many people's hearts for their exotic flavors and natural sweetness. However, these fruits are also highly sensitive to cold and must be stored with care. While it may seem tempting to put tropical fruits in the refrigerator to extend their shelf life, doing so can cause more harm than good. These fruits thrive best when stored at temperatures between 10°C and 13°C, with anything below 8°C being too cold for their delicate nature. Placing them in the fridge can lead to freezing, nutrient loss, and even faster spoilage, making the fruits not only less enjoyable to eat but also potentially harmful to your health. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. What's truly worrying is that even when tropical fruits are stored at low temperatures, they can still rot, and the spoiled fruits can release toxic succeron. These toxins may not only cause issues like kidney edema and metabolic disorders, but in more severe cases can even lead to cancer. It's a chilling reminder that the refrigerator is not a universal storage solution. Treating it as such could lead to unintended consequences, especially when it comes to storing sensitive tropical produce. Personally, it's made me rethink how I handle these types of fruits, knowing that cold storage could rob them of their natural nutrients and turn them into potential health hazards. The best approach is to consume tropical fruits while they're still fresh. To avoid waste, I've found it helpful to buy only what I need and prepare my meals accordingly. This simple strategy not only preserves the fruit's natural goodness, but also ensures that fungi and toxins don't get a chance to develop. And if you need to store uncooked fruits or other foods, a cool, dry, and well-ventilated spot can do wonders in prolonging their freshness without the risks that come with refrigeration. This brings us to the broader issue of food safety and health, particularly in the context of preventing serious diseases like gastric cancer. Prevention, as experts often say, is better than cure. And when it comes to something as devastating as gastric cancer, prevention can be life-saving. There are 3 levels of prevention: primary, secondary, and tertiary. Primary prevention is perhaps the most critical because it involves stopping the causative factors before they can even take hold. In this case, the most important factors are maintaining a healthy diet and controlling infections. Diet plays a central role in preventing gastric cancer, and this is something that can't be emphasized enough. Professor Qin Sheng beautifully summarizes the risk factors with 8 keywords: coarse, hard, scalding, moldy, flat, and sour pickled vegetables. Coarse and hard refer to rough, unrefined foods which were once a staple in impoverished areas. While living conditions have improved, some dietary habits have not evolved, and continuing to eat overly coarse food can still contribute to gastric irritation. Scalding, or consuming foods that are too hot, is another major concern. Foods cooked or served at high temperatures, especially those over 65 degrees C to 70 degrees G, can cause direct damage to the mucous membranes of the esophagus and stomach. Repeated exposure to such damage is a known risk factor for both esophageal and gastric cancers. In today's fast-paced society, many people eat hastily, often not allowing their food to cool properly. This is a dangerous habit and one that can have long-term consequences. Taking the time to eat smaller, more frequent meals and thoroughly chewing food is not only gentler on the digestive system, but also helps prevent accidental burns to these delicate tissues. Moldy foods are another major risk factor. These foods can harbor harmful bacteria in their metabolites, leading to food poisoning or, in the worst cases, cancer. It's heartbreaking to think that simply consuming spoiled food could lead to such a serious health condition. This is why it's crucial to inspect your food carefully and discard anything that looks or smells off. Finally, the risk of sour pickled vegetables, which are often rich in nitrates, should not be underestimated. While pickling is a common preservation method in many cultures, it's important to recognize that nitrates, when consumed in excess, can increase the risk of hypertension and gastric diseases like gastritis, ulcers, and even cancer. Combined with a high-sodium diet, these pickled vegetables can create a perfect storm for developing these conditions. Achieving a reasonable diet is a cornerstone of maintaining good health and preventing serious illnesses like gastric cancer. According to experts, one of the most effective ways to improve dietary habits is by following a simple yet powerful rule known as the 3 more, 3 less principle, advocated by Professor Qin Sheng. This approach encourages eating more vegetables and fruits, more coarse grains, and supplementing your diet with calcium. At the same time, it advises cutting back on salt, sugar, and oil. These small changes can make a significant difference in overall health, as they focus on increasing nutrient-dense foods while reducing the intake of substances that can lead to chronic diseases. I believe that this principle offers a practical and manageable way to reshape our eating habits. It doesn't require extreme diets or deprivation, but instead emphasizes balance. More vegetables and fruits can provide essential vitamins and antioxidants that protect against various diseases. Coarse grains such as oats, barley, and brown rice offer dietary fiber, which supports digestive health and helps regulate blood sugar. Calcium-rich foods such as dairy or leafy greens are vital for bone health, especially as we age. Reducing salt, sugar, and oil in our meals can prevent issues like high blood pressure, obesity, and cardiovascular disease. In my opinion, adopting these small but meaningful changes can transform our health in the long run. When it comes to detecting gastric cancer early, the situation is particularly concerning in countries like China, where the diagnosis often occurs at a late stage. Gastric cancer is notorious for its high metastasis and mortality rates, along with a low survival rate, especially when diagnosed in its later stages. This is why early detection is crucial. Unfortunately, early-stage gastric cancer often presents with little to no symptoms, making it a silent threat. By the time noticeable symptoms arise, the cancer may have progressed to more advanced stages, which are harder to treat effectively. This is where the importance of regular health checkups and screenings comes into play, particularly through standardized gastroscopy screening. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Active screening can significantly improve the chances of diagnosing gastric cancer at an early stage, where treatment is more likely to be successful. I strongly believe that raising awareness about the importance of routine screenings and encouraging people to prioritize their digestive health can save countless lives. In countries with a high incidence of gastric cancer, access to regular gastroscopy screenings should be widely promoted as part of public health initiatives. Early detection is key, and it is one of the few defenses we have against the otherwise silent progression of this disease. Skipping breakfast, which many people see as harmless or even a way to cut calories, is quite harmful to health. It can lead to a cascade of negative effects on both the gastrointestinal and cardiovascular systems. Breakfast is often described as the most important meal of the day, and for good reason. After a long night of fasting, the body needs fuel to kickstart metabolism, replenish energy levels, and supply vital nutrients. Skipping this crucial meal disrupts metabolic processes and can lead to problems like weight gain, decreased work efficiency, and even malnutrition. Furthermore, regularly skipping breakfast has been linked to an increased risk of obesity. This may sound counterintuitive, but when the body is deprived of food in the morning, it tends to compensate by overeating later in the day, which often leads to poor food choices and higher calorie consumption. Additionally, skipping breakfast can negatively impact memory, focus, and work performance, as the brain is deprived of the glucose it needs to function properly. Over time, the lack of proper nutrition in the morning can also contribute to serious health issues, including an increased risk of gallstones and heart disease. Not all breakfasts are created equal, though, and it's important to choose nutrient-dense foods over high-calorie, low-nutrient options. Fried foods, meals loaded with salt, and bread-based breakfasts are common, but they are often unhealthy due to their excessive calorie content and lack of essential nutrients. Such foods can negatively impact blood pressure, blood sugar levels, and overall energy throughout the day. A better choice would be a balanced breakfast that includes whole grains, lean proteins, and fresh fruits, providing sustained energy and promoting long-term health. As we come to the end of this discussion, we hope you've gained valuable insights into the importance of a healthy diet, early detection of gastric cancer, and the crucial role breakfast plays in our overall well-being. What have you learned so far? We'd love to hear from you. Comment below and share one thing you've learned today that you'll bring into practice in your daily life. If you found this video helpful, please leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more health tips and valuable information. Your support helps us continue to bring you content that enriches your life.